why America needs a civil war. And I don't say that lightly. This nation is in very desperate need of a civil war. But let's define who the sides are. What are the different sides, the opposing sides? Well, let's have a race war, right? Blacks against whites, the two greatest opposing forces racially speaking. No, because there are blacks that are decent people, there are whites that are decent people, there are blacks that are bad people, there are whites that are bad people. All races have their good and bad people. So how would you differentiate to kill off the bad ones without destroying the innocent ones or whatever else? See, it wouldn't work. Okay, so you can't do it on racial lines. Well, let's do it on religious lines. Let's have a Catholic/Protestant war, kind of what goes on in some countries like Northern Ireland. I know that they've had some issues, Catholics versus Protestants. And why don't we do it that way? Again, you can't do it that way in America because there are some Protestants that act like Catholics and Catholics that act like Protestants. And, you can't just say, oh, you're a Catholic, you belong to the Catholic Church, you deserve to be slaughtered, or you're a Protestant heretic, you deserve to be slaughtered. That doesn't work either. Why don't we do left versus right? Again, you have the same problem. You have the same issue of there are some leftists that are pretty decent. They have sort of libertarian, more of a libertarian type of viewpoint on things. And then there are some conservatives that are really dumb and whatever else. And there's some leftists that are decent, and there's leftists that are really dumb, and there's conservatives that are pretty decent people. So again, you can't just have complete line of division there. All right? Just as in the actual Civil War back in the 19th century, that was kind of a stupid war too. It was designed to kill a lot of people, which it did. 650,000, white men. Very terrible thing. Mostly what fought. I realized that there were some regiments, I think, that had some blacks in them, and probably some other types of people, some Jews and things that were involved in fighting the Civil War. But it was predominantly white men that lost their lives in the Civil War. Kind of a stupid thing. You say, well, I don't understand. And what other lines are there? Oh, maybe people that are for the LGBTQ thing, and then you get the conservatives or something. And so we'd have camouflage guys, the conservative right-wing militia type, versus the Rainbow Brigade, flying their rainbow flags. Maybe they could have rainbow camo or something. No, that wouldn't work either. Okay? Because not all sodomite type of people or whatever, they don't all dress fruity or whatever else. There are some that don't dress like that. And whatever. And there are some people that might be a little bit tougher that are for the whole LGBT thing, whatever else. Again, you can't say it's a clear line of demarcation. Well, then what would be the clear line of demarcation? Well, here's where it gets interesting. Because the clear line that separates people like us, you and me, the common people, guys that have shops that we actually go out here and work with our hands and build things with our hands. And the other group, the people that don't know how to do that, the ultra-billionaire elite group, the people that are constantly involved in scams of usury and whatever else, and they're the tyrants that basically try to run the normal people. That's where the Civil War needs to be. You say, could you give me an example of some of these people? Oh, pretty much take Jeffrey Epstein, and the list of anybody that's ever visited with the guy and whatever else. You and I would never have the opportunity to visit with a man like Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, some of these Wall Street insider, banker types and whatever else, they avoid places where they would rub shoulders with you and me. You know that they do. Unless they're a politician and they have to go out and smile and kiss the baby and shake hands and whatever else and pretend that they're for us. If somebody's a multi-billionaire, they are completely out of touch with you and me. And that's where the Civil War needs to be. You say, are you saying we should take up arms against these guys and start going out? No, there's actually better ways to fight them. You see, there's so few of them, and that's the way it has to be. Because if it wasn't that way, there'd be no point in becoming a ultra-rich billionaire. If it was just sort of a common thing and everybody could be a billionaire, well, what's the point? They have to keep their numbers very small. They go to their private clubs. They don't want it to just be anybody off the street. They go to their secret societies. Again, not open to everybody. To be a Mason, you have to know a Mason, kind of a thing. we've received the right hand of fellowship. We'll bring you into our ranks only when you've proven that you are one of us. So it's actually their greatest asset, so to speak, is actually the thing that leads to their downfall. Because they can't have large numbers of people. They have to try to control the masses, the normal common people. Kind of an issue for them. But here's how we wage warfare against them. They know that they can't take us on force against force because, like I said, they're few in number. So they have to get us to comply to their system. That's where it comes in and gets pretty interesting. This is where we wage our war, by non-compliance with their system. Don't go and support them. Don't go to Trump rallies. Don't go to his flags, whatever. It doesn't matter. Trump, Biden, whatever other Democrats out there, Republicans, whatever, politicians. Okay, I'm against a lot of these politicians. There are very few that I would even trust because they've sold out to corporate interests. They are lobbied by foreign countries, and they do what they're told by foreign interests that don't care about people like you and me. And so we have to start to say, you know what, not going along with that. No, sorry, not going to do that. Oh, you want to take my property? Well, I'm going to get it paid off. I'm going to be debt free. And I'm going to start to get food, not from your big chain stores, but I'm going to grow food myself, hunt, forage, fish, whatever. I'm going to do it that way. And I'm also going to support small local farms of other people like me, not billionaire farmers. See, I'm going to rely on local small phone companies to be able to communicate with other people, or I might just actually drive to the business and deal with them face to face. Don't bother calling me. I'll just stop by later today. I have a bunch of errands to run. I'll drop my car off, and can you get it inspected in a couple hours? Okay, yeah, well, you don't need to call me. I won't be there anyhow. I don't have a cell phone or anything. I don't. I'll show up in a couple of hours, and if the car's done, great. If not, you can tell me to come back. I'll come back tomorrow, whenever. Start dealing with people face to face, in person. You go to the grocery store, deal with the cash register, the cashier at the cash register. Don't go and do the self-checkout thing. I mean, think about it. Are they paying the person that works at the cashier? Do they pay the cashier to check you out? You say, well, yeah. Do they pay you to check yourself out? There's a thought. No, they don't. So then you're basically, where's that money going that should be there going to the cashier? You are basically doing their job for them and not getting paid to do it. You see, if they really wanted to make sense with this whole self-checkout line thing, they would actually pay you, give you some kind of discount for you to do it. But they're not. But see, I need to make a point. And I have to go to the scriptures because as a preacher, that's what I do. But when you're starting to deal with these people that are in this upper echelon, you're not dealing with, you see some of the things that they get into and you think, as a red-blooded man, you look and you say, why would you want to mess around with a little girl? That's weird. Or a little boy or something. That's a little strange, you know? What are you dealing with when you get up into that realm? Well, King James Bible here, God's pure word for the English-speaking people, says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Now, if you're an atheist, and you say, I don't believe in the supernatural realm, I don't believe in God and all this other stuff, well, you might want to look into that a little bit more, because these people, the billionaire club, the Epstein Island types, they are getting into some things that are not normal, shall we say. They get into some things that are very sick and very twisted, almost like they are in a very dark place. Spiritual wickedness in high places. The rulers of the darkness of this world. Very dark, very wicked people. Going into satanic rituals and strange orgies and all this weird stuff and drug usage and blood contracts and oaths and ritual, weird thing. Bohemian Grove, and we're having these weird things in the Davos group and the World Economic Forum and all that other stuff. We have There at the Vatican, we have the catacombs, and we go down underneath the ground, and we have these sealed things, and there's tombs down there, and there's the bodies of different popes, and it's just all this dark, evil stuff, and you're thinking, ugh, this is weird. What's going on? Oh, well, the Bible's true. Yeah. And that's who we need to have civil war against. We don't need to fight each other. Divide and conquer, you know that? Let's destroy those stupid Democrats. That would be stupid. Well, let's get rid of the Republicans. That would be equally as stupid. Let's get rid of people because of the color of their skin, because of their race, their ethnicity. Very stupid. I've said this before, but some of the reason I'm in ministry is because of some great sermons I heard from black preachers. I'm not a racist at all. But, according to their standards, if you see distinction between different people, then you're a racist. Well, then okay, then I'm a racist according to those lines. But weird. But my point is, as we move forward and these talking heads in the mainstream media that are now on YouTube, and they're talking about we need to have a civil war and whatever. Well, define your civil war. Are you saying about we need to have a civil war with your masters? The mainstream media masters, the big corporate heads and whatever, the politicians, the goons. That's who we need to war against. And we war through non-compliance. We war through non-conformity. Don't go along with what they say. Who are you going to vote for in the next election? Oh, you mean selection? I don't take part in the voting system anymore because it's a scam. They'll put in whoever they want to put in. Okay? Just keep kidding yourself. Oh, we have a role to play in this and we can decide who rules our country. No, you can't. No, you can't. At least not right now here in America. So don't comply with their system. Deal with other people that are non-billionaires. Okay? If you're going to travel someplace, travel out on the road. Drive somewhere. You start flying, you're getting into the corporate big thing again, and then, you have to go through this thing. It scans your body to see if you're safe. And if we don't like that, we're going to have to put our hands down your pants and touch your area where we shouldn't be allowed to touch and everything else. There's a magic disease going around, and you have to stay 6 feet apart, and you have to put a face mask on that couldn't possibly stop the horrible disease. But you can't go to your work, you can't go do things, you can't this, you can't that. You're not allowed to do things on your own property unless we give you our permission. You understand what I'm saying here? Figure out ways to get out of their system, to get away from their chain stores. And most importantly, you need to figure out your relationship to God, because God does exist. And consequently, so does the devil, that these world leaders, they worship him in different ways. So just want to put this out there, because I see the media talking heads again talking about civil war. We're getting out of winter here. We need to maybe do some staged events and certain things that could really rile up people on one side or the other. We won't report on those, but other ones that go into our agenda, we'll report on that and just keep reporting it, almost like propaganda, They'd never do that on TV, though. But we want to move people in a direction towards wanting to kill each other. But in reality, we should be looking and saying, what can we do to take down these elites? The spiritual wickedness in high places. You better have a relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. He is God. And he is the one that can stop this whole thing. The Bible talks about righteousness exalteth a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. These elites know that if they can keep you in sin, they can make you weak. You're easier to control when you're a sinner. Righteousness exalts a nation. The saying, which I've said different times, Horace Greeley said it, and he said, it is impossible to mentally or socially enslave a Bible-reading people. If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed. Jesus Christ, the Son of God, can make you free. He can give you wisdom to be able to make things with your hands and be able to deal with people and have love in your heart towards your fellow man, and yet be able to see these people are sold out to Satan. They're trying to get us to kill each other. Start looking at your fellow American and your fellow man and saying, He's not my enemy. She's not my enemy. They are. That Epstein list, those people that do those dark, sick things that we don't understand, they're the enemy. They're the ones we go after. Please take this to heart.